five guys lineup. So I'm gonna have a starter, a six man, a role player, a bench man, and the fifth guy you're gonna have to cut him. So
Okay.
LaMelo Ball, John Morant, De'Aaron Fox, Trey Young, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Who are you starting?
Okay. I'm starting Fox. I think Fox is a good
Wow.
board there. Listen, I know. Listen, there's going to be concerns about his defense, right? But to me, I don't really get caught up in that. He's a better defender than Trey Young. So I would say Fox, and then the bench player or the six man for that would be. This is tough. This is a tough. This is a tough group.
Before you get into, I'll give my answer so we can do this fast. I'll give you my answer for my starter. I was a little bit debating on Trey, but I'm gonna have to go with De'Aaron Fox. I'm just, I don't know. It's hard to go against what De'Aaron's been doing. I've always said if De'Aaron learns how to shoot, he's a jump shot away from being an elite point guard. And right now, he's hitting his jump shot. He's hitting his three ball. He's making his free throws a little bit better, but still struggling from the free throw line. I just think it's hard to go against De'Aaron right now. Those other guys look really good, but I can't put any of them above De'Aaron.
I agree with that. Now I know who my six man is going to be.
Who is it?
Trey Young.
Okay. Is there any reasoning for that?
I think him and Fox are close, like you mentioned, but I would just give it because Fox is a little bit better defensively, and I've really enjoyed watching Fox these past couple weeks. So maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, but I would give him the nod right over Trey, and then I'm going to put Trey right there behind him at that six man role.
This one I'm having a lot of trouble with because I'm just debating two guys. Oh man, I guess I would have to go Trey Young as well. I think it's very hard to go against Trey with the numbers that he's been putting up and the fact that Atlanta's winning this year.
Yeah.
We said it ourselves. I said it myself that I didn't think Atlanta was going to be as good of a team, but they've done a good job. Now I know they are not out here in fourth in the East right now or anything crazy, but I think you got to give it to Trey. I don't see any argument against that. Now, who's your role player on this squad? Who's number three?
SGA. SGA is going to be my role player.
Whoa!
Listen, he's averaging almost 23 points per game, and yeah, OKC's not winning, but they're also 10 and 14. Do you know how many teams in the league are hovering in that near 500, a little bit over, a little bit under? Do you know how many teams are hovering around that? It's like almost 80% of the league is right there. So I'm gonna say that he would be my role player.
Oh man, I couldn't disagree with you more. This one was very hard for me to choose because oh man, I'm so it's tough. This one is extremely tough, and I think it could go both ways. But I think I have to go with John Morant. I think I would have to go with John Morant because I feel like a lot of us are forgetting what Ja can do. He's playing on a very thin rostered Memphis team, and he's playing without Jaren Jackson, a guy who was playing very well last year. Now, I did say that John Morant was going to have a little bit of a sophomore slump. I'm not going to say that, oh, well, I was 100% right on it because, he has still played good. And I did mention when I said he was going to have a slump, I said he's still going to, improve. He's still going to have better stats, but sophomore slumps means he's not going to have as big as a jump as he did from his, college to his first year. So I think you got to give it to Ja. I just, it's hard to put Shea or LaMelo over him yet, at least yet.
Yeah. The only reason I did is because he's averaging 23 and 6.5, whereas Morant is only averaging 18 and 7.7. So they're close, but I gave SGA the nod. Just, I don't know. I've always been a fan of him, even coming out of Kentucky. I really liked him, but I don't know. I've always been a little bit more biased to him. But with that being said, my bench role is definitely Morant. I mean, it's not like I'm going to put LaMelo over him.
What? I'm actually shocked by this. I am legitimately shocked that Caleb is putting. I did not think you'd have LaMelo that low. I'm actually very surprised.
But I wouldn't put LaMelo over Morant, SGA, Fox, or Trey.
I disagree with you. I would put LaMelo as my benchman, and I'm going to have to cut Shea.
Stop it. Stop it.
I know Thunder fans are going to be very upset with me.
Stop it.
I just think that LaMelo has a better future than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that LaMelo can be.
I'm talking about right now, Amir, right now.
No, I'm looking at this from a long-term perspective. If you're talking about this from a long-term perspective, LaMelo has to be that fourth guy. I still don't think LaMelo is going to be better than Ja, De'Aaron, or Trey. I don't think so. But at the same time, I think he's still going to be a close to an elite point guard, and that's as elite as you're going to get being in a class with these guys. I hate putting Shea at number 5 and having to cut
But
him. But hey, man, snippity snip.
hey, I will say though, if you look at it from where LaMelo became the starter and you kind of compare those starter numbers to these guys, he's very close. Since becoming a starter in 6 games, he's averaging 22 points per game, 6 assists per game, and 5 rebounds per game. Those are really good numbers. And when you consider his age, it's impressive. And he's been doing it on great efficiency too. Like he's been very efficient since becoming a starter. Now it's only a 6-game sample size where we're looking at these guys as what? Fox is a 5-year, 4-year player. Trey's a 3-year player. SGA is a 3-year player. So we're looking at a little bit different. But
that this year for rookies, you can't really scout them as much.
yeah, it's a weird year.
You're not going to. Like, how many teams are in a pandemic when you're playing back to back to back to back to back? You're playing 4 games in 5 days and you get one day off every day for like 2 months. How many NBA teams are really like, all right, guys, let's sit down and break down LaMelo Ball? Like, you're going to do it, but you're not going to go in depth about it just like you would, for example, a guy like a Luka, or right now a De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, in a De'Aaron Fox, you're going to want to figure out a little bit more. But Trae Young, you're going to try to figure out a little bit more of what he's good at. LaMelo, I think a lot of it is that rookie year shine. And I do believe, just like Ja, I think he's going to regress. And that's why I had such a tough time with these two, because I almost switched it. I almost wanted to switch it at the end and I think I'm going to put Ja as my role player, but sorry, as LaMelo as my role player, but I'm going to keep LaMelo as a bench man.
I mean, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue it.
He won't argue, but he's mad at me. It's okay, guys.